Buff Nation, what up? My bandwagon buffs, BWB, what up? It's your man's Harry, Billion. And tonight, I got a banger for y'all. Before I start, I gotta be honest, guys. The banger part, that was for my 7-year-old. He said, Daddy, you gotta say banger, but this is how you gotta say it. And he's always my hype man. Every time I started saying billion, as soon as he hears he says billion in his little 7-year-old voice. So it had a little ring to it. So I was like, you know what, Micah? I'm gonna give it a shot. And how can you argue with a 7-year-old? For Micah, it's gonna be a banger. You guys are still digesting the transfer portal and the NIL video. That's a lot to take in. You're still thinking about the Welcome to Colorado video. So there's a lot of things I've been giving y'all to digest. Tonight, let's go a little light. Light from my perspective. It may not be light to a lot of y'all because I'm about to give you some good information. It's not as heavy as the other stuff I've been giving y'all, but it's still going to be informative come game day. We about to get to work. Y'all know how I do. First things first. We're still trying to build. So I need y'all to press that subscribe button on YouTube. On TikTok, hit the follow button and hit the heart button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Please remember to comment. You got to comment. The comment is helping me to grow exponentially. Tonight, I want to play a little game with you guys. I want to challenge some of you. College football rules and NFL rules. If you know those rules very well or you think you know these rules, stick around because if I get to stomp you, you got to give me a comment. I want to be fair. The part of the game where you get the comment, who do you prefer, is coming from the Utah football fans. So do you prefer the NFL rule or do you prefer the college rule when it comes to this and how it affects the game? I'm going to go ahead and put the rules up as we talk about it. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's talk about the rules. First rule is tie game. College football, there cannot be any tie game. The game has to keep going until somebody wins. If you're watching a college football game, you should bring some lunch, you should bring dinner, and you should bring a little bit of snack and a lot of drinks. College football can go forever. So in the NFL, during the regular season, if they are playing and the clock runs out, they will end in a tie. They'll go home, go to the locker room, take a shower, and go to their families. Let me know which one do you prefer. Are you a somebody wins type of person, or do you prefer the game to just be over? When the clock runs out, the game is over. Let's go home. Go ahead, drop your thoughts into the comment. Let's go to number 2. Okay, so rule number 2 is ground contact. Most of everybody should know this. Even if you're a casual fan, most of you should know this. There are some people that don't know this rule. You can be honest. If you didn't know that rule, say, I didn't know that rule, but I'm glad I know it now. You can enjoy the game if you know these rules. I promise you. It makes the game so much fun. The announcers in every televised game are doing exactly that. They are there to help you to enjoy the game. You can consider me like an announcer, YouTube announcer, because I'm here to help you to enjoy the game. In a live televised game, if you didn't have the announcers, it'll be a little bit hard to enjoy the game. It'll be a little bit hard to navigate the game and to enjoy it. Because every time something happens, and like if you're watching your favorite basketball game, every time something happens and the referees have to kind of come together to make a decision, you have the announcers there trying to explain it to you, try to make sure that you understand what's going on. Yeah, that one was a flagrant foul. This guy, he was rushing, blah, 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 blah. He came and he did. And, you're kind of like learning the game as you go along, and it makes the game a lot easier to enjoy. That's what they're doing there. So that's all I'm doing here. All I'm doing is just trying to help you to enjoy the game. So when the game starts, you will know these rules and you'll be able to enjoy the game without even thinking about it. So ground contact. If your knee touches the ground and your opponent does not touch you, in the NFL, you can get up and you can keep running. In college football, if your knee touched the ground and your opponent did not touch you, you are not allowed to get up and keep running. Go ahead and lock in your answers. Which rule do you prefer? Do you like the fact that you can get up and keep running, or you're down? Let's just say Travis Scott, he's fast, so he runs and then he beats his opponent down the field and then nobody's near him, right? He jumps up, catches the ball, comes down and fall down. Nobody's around him. I want him to be able to get up and keep running, like for real. But it's so weird that the fact that he can't get up and run, he's down. Maybe that helps the game in a different way. So somebody out there tell me, how do you guys feel? Do you like the fact that somebody is just down in college? Do you like the college rule better? Or do you like professional rule where you can get up and run? Go in the comment section and register your answer. Rule number 3 is going to be clock stoppage. When you make a first down, the clock stops. I don't know what the color is in college. I think it's yellow. I think broadcasts in general are using yellow. Like, I don't know what year that is. I gotta do some research to let you guys know what year they started using that yellow line in broadcast. I think in college and in the NFL, they use the yellow line in broadcasting. The yellow line was to help you to understand that was the first down. This is the line that they got to pass to make a first down. So whenever they pass that yellow line and they make a first down in college, the clock stops. The team gets to regroup. They get to huddle up and go over some plays and say, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. People can catch their breath a little bit. But in the NFL, the clock keeps running. So every first down, the team has to just keep going and move the game along. Drop it in the comments, guys. Which rule do you like better? Do you like the clock to stop or do you like the clock to continue after the first down? So rule number 4 is reviewing the plays. So in college football, all plays can be reviewed by the referee and the game staff. Any play can be reviewed. In the NFL, only certain plays can be reviewed. Let me see if I can stomp any of my pros. So if you consider yourself a pro, that means you knew the rules. And if you consider yourself college, that means you may know, you may not know. So tell me, before I say the answer, go ahead, lock in your answer and be truthful. Which plays can be reviewed in the NFL? Only certain plays can be reviewed. If you know the answer, let's see how many people were truthful. These are the type of plays that can be reviewed in the NFL. The first one is any play that involves a score. So scoring plays can be reviewed in the NFL. We've all seen them. The NFL and the referees have been getting a whole lot of heat about last minute scores. All right. So any scoring play in the NFL can be reviewed. If there's any kind of controversy or anything surrounding that play, any type of questionable thing surrounding a score in the NFL, that play can be reviewed. That's number one. Anybody know number two? Any pros know number two? Because all my college people, we like, okay, we don't know. Go ahead, tell us, Harry B. Put it in the comments. All right. So the next rule, number two, is turnovers. Any turnover play or any type of turnover can be reviewed. Finally, for plays that are reviewable in the NFLs, number three, any score during the final 2 minutes of the game is reviewable by the referee and his staff. Which one do you prefer? You prefer the college rule, review every play, or do you like the NFL where certain plays are reviewed? We're moving right along. Number five, 2 minutes warning. So at the 2 minute mark in college football, the game just continues to roll on as if it was any other time. It's just like some people think about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. To some people, it's just another day. To other people, New Year's resolution. This year, I'm going to lose all the weight. This year is my year. Christians be going out touching cars. Oh, this is my car. Claiming things. To some people, it's just another day. In college football, at the 2 minute mark, the clock just keeps moving. But you go to the NFL on Sunday, and at the 2 minute mark, they're like, it's the 2 minute mark. We're going on commercial. We'll be right back, okay? Do you prefer the college rule, the clock to keep going, or do you prefer the clock to stop? All the pros that you consider yourself a pro. So if you're a pro, that means you already know the rules. If you're a college, I mean, you may know or you may not know. For all you pros, I think I'm about to get y'all. Here we go. How many yards do you get on a defensive hold? The referee blows the whistle. The whistle blows. Holding, number 24, defense. Right after that, it said how many yards. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down. Let me see how many people are stomped on that one. Lock in your answer before I say it. So here's the answer. In college, you get 10 yards on a defensive hold, and in the NFL, it's only 5 yards. Please put in the comments, say, I did not know that. I watched college football faithfully, and I watched NFL faithfully, and I did not know that it was 5 yards in the NFL, and it was 10 yards in college when you have a defensive hold. Referees blow the whistle, and they say that the defensive player was holding. They're going to always say it's a 10-yard penalty in college. You can only get 5 yards on a defensive hold in the NFL. Do you prefer that both college and NFL get 10 yards, or do you prefer that both college and NFL get 5 yards? Put it in the comments. Let me know which one you prefer. So when you're in the end zone, we're going to call this the end zone foot rule. If anyone catches the ball in the end zone in the NFL rule, you have to have 2 feet down for it to count. In college, it only has to be 1 foot. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer just 1 foot? Any part of your body lands in that end zone, just give it to him. I think 1 foot is good. But again, it makes the NFL real competitive when you have to put down 2 feet. That's when you see spectacular catches when dudes are like all the way out of bounds and then all of a sudden they stretch their body just to get their 2 feet. I mean, I've seen some spectacular NFL plays, man, with those 2 feet. I'm mixed on this one. I'm half and half. I like the 1 foot because I'm like, man, these dudes are working hard. Reward them. Just like I'm working hard. Reward me. Give me a follow, a comment. I got one really good one. I saved the best for last. But if you've been having a lot of fun, let me know in the comments, guys. Let's finally talk about jersey numbers. The numbers that are on that jersey. In the NFL, there's a meaning for jersey numbers. My pros, did you know that? If you didn't know that, come on, man, give me one. Let me get one. Don't lie. Give me one. Did I get you? We at the end now. This is it. Put that in the comments. Because of the way that the NFL is set up, there's a lot of things that's riding on these games. There's a lot of money riding on these games, and there's a lot going on in these games, okay? So these jersey numbers have to mean something in the NFL. So in the NFL, numbers in the 20s, 30s, and the 40s are for running backs on offense, and they are for defensive back on defense. So it could be 21, 22, 23. Those numbers are reserved only for offensive running backs, and on defense for the defensive backs. There's a reason why, I'll tell you in a second. The numbers that are in the teens, like you have teenagers, they get on your nerve a little bit. 19, 18, 17. Numbers that are in the teens and in the 80s are reserved for wide receivers in the NFL. In college football, they can wear whatever they want. That's why I did them last. In college football, pick a number. You got running backs that are 83. This is the reason why those numbers matter in the NFL. So in the NFL, they want you to just be able to look down the field and be able to tell what's going on. They want to make it real easy for you. If you look down the field, those linemen with those 90s, you're not going to see them all the way down there. They're going to be right there in the center. They make it in a way where people can ascertain or you can surmise what's going on. As soon as you look down the field, like you're watching the NFL games, they want you to be lured to sleep. They want you to just sit back and eat more, get fatter. That's all they want you to do. They don't want you to even have to think about it. You look down that field, you see somebody running, he got a number 90, he probably got a fumble, and he picked it up and he was running. But he should not be down there. Stop playing with me. Number 90, stay in your place. Stay in your lane. LeVar Ball, stay in your lane. Another reason is they're trying to streamline the process. There's a lot of signal callers. There's a lot of people that are involved in the whole process. I would say the poetry that's in motion and in the NFL football. There's a lot of moving pieces that we don't get to see that are behind the scenes, that are looking on the game. So people who are looking on those little plays and stuff like that and trying to make sure that the plays are working, it makes the game easier for them to be able to streamline everything that's going on the field, for the signal callers to be able to call the right signals. These numbers make it easier for me to say, okay, boom, it's over here. For instance, since I'm a tech guy, when you get your RCA cables, they're red, yellow, and white. So red, yellow, and white, you can always line them up to the right place. If you know where the numbers are when you are a signal caller, and you don't have to be thinking like, why is that guy over here? Why is this guy over here? If you are a signal caller, you know the number 23, number 20s, the 30s, and the 40s. These are my running backs. You know your 80s and your teens are going to be my wide receivers. If you know those numbers, they're in the right places and they're in their place, you know how to call your signal, and you can think real fast, and it can make the game a lot easier, and it can streamline a lot of things. It's all about strategy. So in the NFL, there's a lot of strategists, people who are strategizing, people who are hired. The NFL has people who they hire lip readers. Whenever you're watching your screen and you see people doing this, when they're calling the plays and you see them hiding their mouth, when you see them hiding their mouths, they're hiring people, the NFL and other teams and colleges that can afford it. They hire professionals who are lip readers, who can read lips. Their job is to watch the screen, what they're saying, and then they can read the lips, and then they can translate that information that they're seeing and say, oh, he just said they're about to run X, Y, and Z play. Get this type of defense to block that. So it's all about strategy. So those numbers that are on the backs of the NFL players are there to streamline the process for the signal callers, for the strategists, for the coaches, everybody that's involved in making sure that this poetry in motion happen in a certain way. Which one do you like best? Jersey numbers to just be random in college? Or do you like jersey numbers that mean something? Hope that was helpful, and I hope that you got something from this video. I'm always looking to help. I'll see you guys in the comment. My name is Harry B. This is TLP Sports Club. Brah!